Nice top.
Thanks. I got it yesterday.
Oh, wow, and it's sort of
Yeah.
glittery.
Sequined. Full sequin.
Oh, very
Yeah.
cute. You're into
Yeah.
your sequence phase.
So you ready for our next episode, Mum?
Yes.
Yeah?
Ready
How
as
are you
I'll ever
feeling?
be.
How are you feeling after
Um,
last time?
yeah, no, I felt better than what I thought I would.
Yeah. And what about our questions?
There's no such thing as silly questions. So
Yep.
I can ask you anything. Yeah.
Yep. Today's topic is ChatGPT. What do you know about ChatGPT?
Well, because I wasn't allowed to Google or anything, but
Uh-huh.
I think it's a more advanced type of AI,
Mm-hmm.
artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
It's a next progression of AI,
Mm-hmm.
or a form of AI. Um, that's what I think it is.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right. That's pretty good for not knowing what it is and not Googling it. So I am putting a link in the chat and I want you to click on that link. And then I want you to share your screen.
Yeah,
So we're just gonna, yay, good
yeah,
job, Mum. So you shared
and
it.
yeah,
So this is ChatGPT.
and I don't know whether I really want one of these.
So I thought what we'd do today, because we're talking about ChatGPT, I'd actually teach you how to use ChatGPT. So instead of you asking me questions, you're going to ask ChatGPT your questions.
Oh
And
dear.
then what's your first question that you have?
Well, I don't, I don't know. I think
I think your first question is, what is ChatGPT? So why don't you type that in to that, see how it says send message?
yes.
What
What
is
is Chat
ChatGPT?
GPT?
And then if
And
you click, yep,
enter.
there you go. So that's what ChatGPT is.
Oh my goodness, it's given me an essay.
Uh-huh.
Now, for me, I would have just thought a sentence or two would be a
Yeah.
reply, but it's
So
given
you
me
can ask it that. So you can say, summarize the above into one sentence.
really.
Hmm.
Also, spelled sentence wrong. Oh
There
my
you go.
goodness, and it did that so quick.
Even though you had spelling mistakes, it still did it.
Yeah, it still did it.
Why don't you ask how you can use ChatGPT?
So instead of looking at Google, I could use this.
Yes and no. So the way that this works, the scientists used information that's available on the internet. I think it was pre-2021. So what they essentially did is they put all of the internet into ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT learned everything that it was provided. But the thing you need to be really careful with using ChatGPT is that if it doesn't know the answer, it will still give you a confident answer.
All right, but it may not be correct.
Correct. So even though it's been trained using information that's on the internet, so things that you can Google, the way that it works, we don't fully understand. So because of that, it could be combining information that isn't relevant or that isn't correct to give you an answer that it thinks you want.
And so, do you use this in your daily work?
I use it every single day. So it helps you leverage human intelligence. And
Yeah,
so it helps
yeah,
give humans time to do what we do best, which is things like
yeah.
creative thinking, analytics, having conversations like this. And we don't have to do all of the manual stuff that we've had to do forever.
So, when all this information's stored in here, if
Mhm.
I'm putting sensitive work information into here, where does it get stored? Like, can other people access this?
They can't specifically access it, but it will be available and it's used to train the model. So it's used to train ChatGPT. So it could mean that somebody somewhere else in the world could get your information in their response.
Wow, wow. But isn't that a bit scary?
It is, but that's why you need to understand what you're doing,
Yeah,
because part of the problem we have at the moment is people don't understand this. So they might be putting in things they shouldn't be putting in, but
mm.
they've now added a feature that you can actually remove your conversation from the testing so that it
Oh,
won't
wow.
actually come up, which is pretty cool.
So, so this is me, and
Mhm.
this is the chat talking to me.
Yep.
And see, I'm just wondering in my work situation, which you know what I do, I'm just wondering
Mm.
how we could adapt this into our work.
Hmm. Yeah, you could ask it. Do you want to share your screen again? Because I turned your screen sharing off. Do you remember how to do that?
Okay. So, for example, I'm going to senior citizens
Mm.
and I spend an hour there. Will it be able to do my
Ask
trivia
it.
for me? Because I hate trivia. And you don't have to say please, do you?
Nope. You can if you
If
want to be polite, but you don't need to because it's not human.
oh, so I spelled citizens wrong, but that's okay. It'll fix me up.
So what have you done with that prompt? So when you ask it a question, that's called a prompt.
All right. Okay. So it's given me all these. It's who was the first president of the year? Oh, can
Yeah.
you see my
So
screen?
why has it given you those answers?
Because I
Think
didn't. It was just fairly general.
yeah. So you want to make it more specific. So you want trivia questions. How many questions do you want?
Actually, I can't believe it's given me all this information. So
Hmm.
I. So, but then I have to research the answers.
No, you don't. You can
Oh
say,
no!
tell me
Feel
the
free
answers.
to.
So if you say,
Wow.
tell me the answers to the above,
Whoops.
you might want to just check them just to make sure they're correct. Because remember, if it doesn't know the answer, it'll make it up. So you might just want to just quickly check that it's correct
Oh my goodness. So this
by
is a way I
Googling
can
it.
use it in
Yeah.
my work.
Yeah. So if you
So
scroll
rather
down,
than
you'll be able to see your answer.
oh my goodness. And so if I wanted like 30 questions,
So do you want to ask
um,
it that? So what kind of questions do you want? Because you obviously don't want American based ones.
please give me 5 rounds of 10
Yeah.
questions
So
per
if you
round
go
is what
down,
I
you'll
mean.
see how it's interpreted that
Oh,
prompt.
general knowledge. Oh my goodness. So it's going to give me, oh my goodness, famous landmark. Oh goodness. So then, so this is a positive way to use it.
Yeah.
Hope no seniors are watching this.
So then you've got your questions and then you want your answers. So how could you improve your prompts next time so you get your answers with your questions?
Now I'm going to say, please, answers for above, please.
Just be careful with that prompt because you've said answers for all of the above. So it
All
depends
right.
how it interprets that prompt. It looks like
All
it's
right.
interpreted it correctly. So see how it's only given
Four.
you 4 rounds?
Yeah.
So it didn't actually give you what you asked for because remember you asked for 5 rounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just scroll up a bit and see if it did the same for your questions because sometimes you need to just prompt it again. Yeah, so
All
see
right.
how it
So
only
it
went to round
stopped to
4?
four.
Do you want me
Oh,
to show you something even cooler?
yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to get this prompt right, but we'll give it a go. Put the Australian trivia questions into a table
What?
with the question and answer.
So it's thinking, certainly, here's the, oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. I cannot believe that it's doing this so quick. That is so cool.
So then what you can do for your trivia is you can figure out what template you want and then you can just put it in here and then you just need to copy and paste it out. So you obviously don't want
So
to include the answers. What prompt would you use to get that outcome?
please give me table blank. Oh, see, it's not, it just says general knowledge. It's not telling me that.
Yeah, it's very literal. So whatever
Yeah.
you tell it is what it's going to give you. So that's why it's
Yeah.
really important to actually
So I
think
can
about
stop
what you
generating.
can stop generating. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you think about it again, so you got the table that you wanted above. So maybe see what your prompt was for that. So then you can copy and paste it because that's obviously a good starting point. So that's the table that you like, right?
Yeah.
That question is obviously the right one to ask to get the table that you want.
Oh, what?
So don't click enter yet.
Yeah.
What about the above do you want to change? Category.
Category.
So change category to number.
If I just
And
put NO, would it know NO is number?
maybe I don't know. You
Let's
could ask
right.
it.
Oh well,
Put it
we'll
in
see
that
if it
chat.
does it. Please
It's
leave
software.
answer column blank. I know,
Yep.
I know.
All right. Let's see what we get.
Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. Round one general. This is so cool. That's exactly what I wanted. General. Oh my goodness.
So there you go. So now all you
Wow.
need to do is copy and paste that into Word, and you're good to go.
Into Word. I'm pretty confident this year we will have to be teaching AI and also Chat GPT. I'm sure we will have to be running classes.
Yeah.
Firstly, teaching us how to use it,
Hmm.
and secondly then teaching customers because I was very nervous because I'm thinking I don't really need this in my life, but
Yeah.
I think experimenting, I like that's just given me such a positive way that I can use it.
Yeah.
made my workload a lot easier.
Hmm. Yep. So
Yeah,
what you'll find is now that you know how to use it, you'll
yeah,
start thinking when you're doing something, you'll think, can ChatGPT do this for me?
yeah,
And then you can
yeah,
get it to do it. But remember that at the moment, you don't want to put anything that's confidential in there because it's shared with everybody.
yes.
So what are the things that you need to remember?
Well, not to put your private, important
Hmm.
information on there like that,
Yeah.
um, giving me the different columns. It
Hmm.
didn't do really what I really wanted. But then again, that was my questioning the way be more precise in what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you only want it in one or two sentences, definitely say that because you'll end up with an essay. But
Yeah.
just a question, if, say, universities or students at school are using, they
Hmm.
would go into these apps and get them to write me an essay on whatever. Do
Yep.
like teachers, are they able to check if someone's written something like this?
It's a really good question. So I had that question at the start of last year. And what's happened since then is they've actually developed software that can track if it was developed by ChatGPT or something similar.
Mm,
You can also tell by what it says. So I've tried to write a few things with it, and it's very generic. It's not engaging the content that it develops. So I think it's
mm.
quite useful if you want an initial outline of something, but it's not beneficial when it comes to actually drafting long assignments and things like that. It's really useful for a lot of things. You just need to be careful with how you're using it.
Well, I think what you've done is getting me to sign on and just
Mm.
ask a few little questions has been good. And do you think a lot of people at schools and universities would be using this chat
So
GPT for?
at at the moment there's two approaches. The first approach is to ban it completely and not allow it in
Yeah,
schools at all, which is
yeah,
not the right approach in my opinion because it's here, it's not going anywhere. You need to embrace it. So the other half are actually embracing it and finding ways that they can use it.
yeah,
So
in a positive way.
yeah, so the teachers that
Yeah.
we know, they're using it now to generate their lesson plans. There are
S-
also teachers who are actually using it with students in the classroom. So
Yeah,
they're teaching them how to use it responsibly, and they're
yeah.
teaching them how to think critically and analytically about the information that it's giving them. And I think that's the right approach. We need to be teaching the next generation how to use it effectively.
In a
And
positive way.
exactly, because their jobs are going to be focused on this type of technology.
Well, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting too. People will be getting the chat
Hmm.
to write you a book, write
So
a
someone
novel.
did that. Someone did it.
Did they?
I'll put the link
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
description below, if
yeah.
anyone's interested in looking at it. But yeah, he actually got ChatGPT to write him a book.
And who discovered it, or did he admit, hey, this is what I've
Oh
done?
no, he that was intentional. That was the purpose of it.
So if they write a book with doing a little bit of help from that, you'd assume
Hmm.
they'd have to acknowledge that in their publication of the book.
That's a really great question because one of the really massive issues with content that's generated with ChatGPT is that it's not protected by copyright law.
Yeah,
So that means that the author doesn't own the work because they didn't create the work. So they didn't
created.
create the book. And so that means that no one can get protection for it.
So Siri has no emotion, and
No,
I'm assuming Chat GPT has no emotion either.
no, you can ask it. It will talk about emotions, but it will admit that it doesn't have any emotion.
And I'll be able to go back and copy and paste my trivia
Hmm.
questions
Yep.
from my login. Yeah,
Yep. So you just
yeah.
need to log in and then you'll see a history of all of your chats.
Oh, wow, that's so cool. Well, you've
Hmm.
just saved me a lot of work there.
Yeah. So I have one last question for you.
Yes.
In one sentence, how do you describe ChatGPT? Yeah. So you still
So,
haven't answered what ChatGPT is, but I'm going to give you a clue. You already answered what is ChatGPT in one sentence using ChatGPT.
oh, what a, all right, now hang
Do you
on.
remember right at the beginning? The very first thing you asked ChatGPT is, what is ChatGPT?
Chat GPT Is AI chatbox based on GPT architectural training to engage in conversational interactions and generate human like responses by leveraging its understanding of language and patterns learnt from training data?
Sorry,
And
I want you
can
to.
I just yeah, can I just can I just say it's giving us information on stored data
Mhm.
in relation to what we may ask it.
Yep. So I'm going to get you to do one final prompt in ChatGPT to finish out the
Yes.
episode. I want
Yes.
you to take that prompt. So copy and paste that answer that it gave you. And if you want, you can share your screen again. Okay. So copy that and then paste it down the bottom. Now go to the top of it. So the start of the sentence and then say, summarize this so a 5-year-old can understand
Oh, wow. That's pretty
it.
cool. That's I must have a level of understanding as a 5-year-old.
No,
Chat
because we asked
GP
it for a 5-year-old. You can make it
yeah,
older if you want to.
Chat GPT is like a smart talking robot that can have conversations with people. It has been taught a lot of words and how to put them together so it can talk and give responses that sound like real people. So there we go. I
Yeah.
can understand that better than the first sentence.
So I am now adding a new rule to these episodes. Do you know what the rule is going to be?
No.
You're not allowed to use ChatGPT to find out about the topic.
Oh, yeah, that's a good actually, that's a good thing, but can I Google? No.
So you're not allowed to Google and you're not allowed to use ChatGPT.
So that's 2 rules.
2 rules
Yeah,
now. And we'll keep
yeah,
adding rules as
yeah,
we need to.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what are we discussing in our next episode?
Is it the second brain
Yeah, we can do second brain next.
or
So,
TikTok?
yeah, yeah. Should we do let's do second brain and then TikTok. So
So,
we look forward to seeing you all when we do second brain.
okay, bye, and thank you for
Bye.
being so patient with me.